Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful morning. This is a awesome, awesome, awesome day. Good to see everyone. Oh, we got all you beautiful people here. We got Cynthia, JW. How you doing, Debbie? Zach, Debbie Morin, Roxanne. Oh yes, this is very cool. Hey, Ugly Trucking, not Sean. Oh yes, yes. Mary Waltz. Good morning. Yes. So if we got some new people here, give them a warm welcome. Know that there's no hate here. We're just having a good damn time. Good morning, Melanie. So just make sure that we keep it clean here. So no stress, no stress. We're gonna go over the Laura Owens stuff. That's gonna come a little bit later on. Just a little bit later on, we'll be going over it. Oh, it's spicy. It's spicy stuff. But you want to talk about spicy? Biden's press conference be a key test for him, but he's no master of the big rhetorical moment. Okay, just like he's got a stuttering problem. Gotcha. So they basically just talk about how horrible of a flop his debate was. So he's going to close out the NATO summit in Washington, an event meant to showcase the leadership on the world stage, but with a rare solo press conference. His stamina are under a microscope. No, it's been like that for 4 years. So many metrics from job growth to major legislation and expanded transatlantic alliance. He can point to no success that wasn't there in place before he got there. Success happened in spite of Joe Biden. Just putting it out there. So he had a follow-up interview on ABC last week. That was disappointing too. Nothing he tried seems to be stopping the bleeding, with more lawmakers calling for him to bow out in the face of concerns that he could hand the White House back to former President Donald Trump. Americans tend to regard their leaders less for what they do than how they make them feel. No, maybe if you're worried about your fifis, Americans actually care more about what their pocketbook looks like at the end of the day. Whenever they see the economy faltering and failing, why didn't Biden start before 2010? Well, it might have been the couple of brain aneurysms that he had. Maybe, I don't know. Before 2010, he had only had a couple. Well, and this is the thing. You're going to hear more about democracy. Well, democracy is mob rule. Always has been, always will be. The more people talk about democracy, just know that it is mob rule. And there's and you can't prove these people any different except just point to the electoral college. And they go, well, we should get rid of the electoral college. Exactly. Electoral college keeps it fair throughout the state. Because if not, you would have mob rule, because the cities would dictate what happens in rural. Because you don't have as large of a population in rural. It's one of the reasons why the Civil War was fought, you fools. The debate was a reminder that you can have as many policies as you want, but what the public sees and hears might matter more. Not true. Not true. What the people see with their own eyes, the damage that's being done to this country, and they've seen it with their own eyes, this right here is what people are concerned with. Republicans just need to keep pointing it out over and over and over again. Independents need to keep pointing it out over and over and over again and not making crap up. This is the problem. If you make up crap, which this is what Twitter is known for, talking about how close Epstein and Trump were, for example, and then getting on a stage on PBS and talking about Trump being might ride bicycles, that kind of thing. All you have to do is do some digging and some research, and you'll see exactly where that's coming from. It's not true. It's like they knew each other, but that was only because Epstein was running in some rich circles. As soon as he figured out the kind of person that he was, he had him thrown out of Mar-a-Lago permanently to never return. Yeah. But they don't like to tell you that. Rhetoric is intertwined the modern presidency. No. That became the most recent during Clinton, from my memory. That's whenever you would see most of the rhetoric coming out. But it wasn't a lie. I mean, it went. If you want to talk about all of the horrible things that Clinton was doing coming into his presidency, about maybe having some people killed off. I mean, wow. Yeah, you don't hear too much about that little guy from Arkansas and the stuff that he got accused of coming into his presidency that they kept quiet. But see, news media can't stop. They can't stop it. There will be people out there in the know, and those people just tend to disappear mysteriously. Weird. Rhetoric is intertwined with modern presidency, from Franklin Delano Roosevelt's "the only thing we have to fear itself" to Ronald Reagan's "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." But you have to put that in context. Because what was the wall that he was talking about? Most people that are on here are too damn young on the YouTubes, too damn young to realize that there was a Cold War, that Germany was divided between the East and West Germany, and that there was a wall dividing the two. Families were divided. People were being shot as they tried to cross that wall. They tend to forget all about that. Families were separated for a long time. And it was Reagan that actually came in and did something about it. And those are achievements. Sending weapons to another country to attack Russia is not helpful. Yeah, Clintonized, exactly. Good morning, Mickey D. It can inspire in the wake of tragedy, like George Bush on the Ground Zero. Even Trump's "Make America Great Again" echoes again and again and again and again. People saw Trump as a reflection of a more turbulent, chaotic, and angry country. No. That is not. Now, if people were getting their feelings hurt by mean tweets because Trump was calling out all the BS on people, now that's a different story. Was he a perfect president? Oh, hell no. He made lots of screw ups. But at least, he wasn't like Obama and dropping 2 drones on American citizens. Biden can give a good speech. No, he can't. He can read a good speech, but here's the thing that AP tends to forget. They tend to forget that he didn't even know who in the hell Larkin was. Or Lakin, sorry. Yeah. He got called out on that too. He didn't even say her name. Could you? Biden. Remember? Riley? The girl that day, if I'm not mistaken, it was that day or earlier that week, was assaulted, raped, beaten to death, and left for dead. And he couldn't even mention her name because of his policies. And then all of a sudden he wants to get tough on border policy. Yeah, people see with their own eyes the crap that's happening. Of course, his press conference will be closely watched for his ability to think on his feet. And, I just, AP, you are carrying this president's water unbelievably. I go for it. Just don't care. Don't care. Here's how you get to watch Biden's news conference Thursday as he tries to quiet doubts after the debate. Yeah, that he's going to be doing that, and nobody cares. Nobody cares what he has to say. He's going to take questions at the White House at 5:30 on Thursday, because if he waits any longer, he's going to be passed out. See, the debate was set up by Biden's rules, Biden's time, when he wanted to do it, how long he wanted to have, the format, the location, all of that stuff was Biden's. And Trump said, "Get me in." And all he did was show up and do what he does best. He let Biden stumble, stutter, go all over the damn place and look like a confused doofus. And whenever Biden was screwing up, Trump actually filled in the blanks for him. It looked like he was just going, "Man, why are they doing this to this guy?" He so bad. Whereas Biden speaking, he'll be speaking at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center, a short distance from the White House, because, well, they can't get him back to the White House soon enough. And more than likely, he'd fall asleep on the trip back. The White House streams much of its live content. Yeah. And then they come back and edit out what they don't want to see. Then they'll offer a live stream at apnews.com, blah, blah. We'll be watching probably a lot of people. Will Biden know the questions ahead of time? Yes. Aside from some apparent exceptions, like incidents in which two radio hosts, I'm not going to allow AP to do this. Two radio hosts said Biden's campaign sent them planned questions, and one of those people were fired over it. They lost their ability to be on that format. It's not standard practice for the president to know precisely what will come up. Bull. Absolute bull. We've seen the handwritten notes that he's had written down. He will have a teleprompter. If he doesn't have a teleprompter, he'll have somebody in his ear telling him everything to say. Bill Clinton is younger than Biden and Trump. Every president, Clinton to Obama, are younger than the current candidates. Absolutely. That's true. And now for the clown news of the day. Exactly. What's up next? Biden returns to the campaign trail with a trip to Michigan on Friday. He will also do an interview with NBC on Monday. And he is scrambling right now. His campaign is scrambling. And all of the people that have been coddling him forever are scrambling. And it's going to only get worse. Because next week, if I'm not mistaken, next week is a Republican National Convention, which means Trump has said that he plans on telling people who his running mate is during that convention. Whether he does or not, I think I would just leave him hanging until later on in the campaign. Because he doesn't need to do it to boost his campaign and just keep people guessing. I'm sure whoever he picks, she will be a wonderful vice president. And more on Ukraine. Oh boy. Ukraine is on an irreversible path to NATO. Told you. I told you. This right here would be a very, very bad idea for NATO. They're doing this to go at Russia. Russia has already said this is not going to happen. The reason this isn't going to happen, this is the reason why Russia and Ukraine are going at it right now. This is one of the main reasons why Russia and Ukraine are going at it right now. There's other things, but this right here, Ukraine joining NATO, is what started all of this crap back in 2022. Because you have an ultra fascist country trying to join NATO, and Russia said no. There you go. 32 members of NATO. NATO member countries individual, and on Wednesday, a joint statement from their summit in Washington announced a series of steps aimed at bolstering Ukraine's defenses, which means that the U.S. is fighting a proxy war with Russia through Ukraine. And the rest of these 32 countries are backing it. This is not, this is one thing that Trump was making sure stayed cooled. They've been trying to, they wanted this back whenever Trump was running for presidency. The idea was to get Clinton in there, to get Hillary Clinton in there, because Joe Biden was already in trouble for promoting and having a prosecutor that was going after the criminals in Ukraine that may have had something to do with Joe Biden's family and the $23 million that were being laundered through. And it didn't stop. Continued on. They were double dealing in Russia. They were double dealing in Ukraine. And they were hoping, they thought for damn sure, I mean, all the polls pointed to Hillary Clinton winning. Oh, but she won the popular vote. This is the reason why we have the Electoral College, because the rural said no. And if you're wondering why people are questioning the election results, is because Biden did one very, very low numbers coming into it. We're talking about he would show up to do any sort of news broadcast, anything, and there was nobody showing up. He did a speech out in front, what is it, the White House or some crap like that. They had 50 or 60 cars honking their horns. As compared to, you went to saw one of Trump's rallies, and he would have thousands of people there, or at least hundreds. Nobody was paying any attention to Biden. And the Trump voters, hey, that's on you. You could have come out in bigger numbers. But that's why they were questioned. Yeah. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky tweeted his appreciation of the effort to strengthen his air force. Yeah, Zelensky has been spending more time in the U.S. begging for money than he has in his own country trying to get this crap under control. He does not want peace. This is about money. Money, 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 money. Every bit of money that they can get, they are laundering out. They have their own staff being caught in other countries with millions of dollars. They're funneling that money back into the U.S., and I think the big guy's getting a percentage of the cut, but he doesn't even know he's getting it. You want to see some crooked stuff going on? There you go. In a final statement, China, which the West says provides components for Russia's weapons, is a decisive enabler of Russia's war against Ukraine. No. It is not a decisive war against Ukraine. We should not be going into this war at all. We should be backing out of it and walking away and let Ukraine handle its own business. They're the ones that allowed this to happen, and we are doing nothing but making it worse. Now, here we go. This will make you feel better. Powell stresses stresses message that U.S. job market is cooling. Why is it that they say this, that, oh, and inflation's still cooling? Possible sign of a coming rate cut. Federal Chair Jerome Powell said Wednesday reinforced a message that the Fed is paying growing attention to a slowing job market and not only taming inflation, a shift that signals it's likely to begin cutting interest rates soon. Only if he's told to by his handlers. He suggests the Fed only made considerable progress towards its goal of defeating the worst inflation spike in 4 decades and noted that cutting rates too late or too little could unduly weaken the economic activity and employment. Well, I will tell you that this right here is not good. This right here is not good. They're working on cutting inflation going into the next round of debates, because there will be more debates between Trump and Biden. They've already got those lined up. Trump has said, sure, I'll debate you anytime, anywhere. There's calls for Biden to step down. That happens, cool. I doubt it's going to happen, though. Something bad would have to happen for him to step down. Like worse than just fumbling around on a debate stage. But with the banking, this is not good. This is not going well. They're cooking the numbers. They're making it appear one way, which it's not. Inflation isn't cooling whenever you're paying $4. In Georgia, I think it's something like $3.58, something like that. But you go to other states and you're paying upwards to $8, like sometimes twice what Georgia's paying. I don't know what your gas prices are there, but that doesn't lie to you. And as Volstorm has said, as many people have said, you drive the price of gas up, the price goes up because it takes more money to get that product to you. I don't see gas prices dropping. I see them going up even higher. U.S. economy and job market have continued to grow, defying widespread predictions. In spite of the job market has been growing. It's trying to get back to where it was before the pandemic. That's where it's trying to get at. Trying to get there, and it's struggling. And that's why they're cutting those rates, which is costing the taxpayer even more. This is why if you're buying a new house, that you're paying a 6 to 9% interest rate. Hell, just what was it, 4 years ago? 3 years ago. Yeah, 3.5 years ago. My wife and I refinanced, and we got a rate at what was it, 2 point? I think it was a 2.5, something like that, interest rate. For I think it was a 15-year fixed. Yeah, right now, if you try to do that, you're looking at about a 6% interest. 3.29 depends on where you're at, what state, what place you're in. I know here in Georgia, it's like a 6% interest rate. Good morning, Zach Daddy. Or 3.29 is your gas. Yeah, it might be right. Good morning. Good morning, Boosh. Good morning, good morning, good morning. A regular bag of Ruffles potato chips that shaved potatoes and salt are $5.99. No inflation. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Most economists have said they expect the Fed's first rate cut to occur in September. Powell this week has declined to say when he envisions the first cut. And he will do that. The reason that he fails to do this, the reason why he won't suggest it, is because it'll piss people off, and there's too much market manipulation whenever that happens. And so we go on to this. Inflation still killing. Thursday's report on June prices will provide clues. So pay attention. Pay attention today. on what today's report's going to be. I mean, if you get a chance, all you have to do, just pull up, watch what the S&P is doing, watch what the NASDAQ's doing. If it starts dropping, you'll know that it is about to get worse. Optimism is rising among economists, investors, and Federal Reserve officials that U.S. inflation is nearly under control, but it's not. It is not even close to being under control. Consumer prices in the United States are believed to edged up just 0.1%. No. My prices have not decreased. They're not decreasing. They're increasing. Any amount of increase is bad. From May to June, the data the government will release Thursday morning, according to a survey of economists by the data provider FactSet. Inflation in June was likely held down by lower gas prices and a slight rise in grocery costs. A small increase will follow the exchange reading this previous month measured from a year earlier. Inflation for June is predicted to be 3.1, down from 3.3 in May. No. They're predicting, but that does not matter. You can predict this crap all you want to, and whenever you open up your wallet and you're going, okay, I have $10. I've got to get to work, or I'm going to eat lunch. I can't have both. Whereas, just a few years ago, you look at your wallet and go, I have $2. I have to get to work or I have to eat lunch. I can't have both. Now it's closer to 10, if not $20, just to get you the same distance. Great. And even more, as overall inflation moderates, such necessities as grocery, rent, and healthcare are much pricier than they were 3.5 years ago. Continuing source of public discontent and potential threat to Joe Biden's reelection bid. But didn't they just say it was all about the feelings? That they didn't like having their feelings, that's what mattered most? It doesn't matter what your pocketbook's doing. AP, why AP? Why do you continue to amaze me with this stupidity? Did you know that you can buy a 5-pound, 360 count bag of Jolly Rancher hard candies for only $15 USD? Max is so much excited, but please be careful. It is possible to joke on the Jolly Rancher. Damn, Max, you are cold. Oh, even if this is true, they expect everyone to simply forget the last 3.5 years. Yes, that is exactly what they want you to do. Forget what's been going on. Forget the rising gas prices. Forget the violence that you are about to experience come November. Hell, next week, the violence that you're going to see is going to blow you away. You're gonna go, what in the hell? Shizzy was right. Hopefully, you can look at me and go, damn, Shizzy was absolutely wrong. Nothing happened during the convention. Telling you, grape are the best, even better than green apple. I can't do the Jolly Ranchers. They stick to my teeth. You can't get top ramen for $2 now. Yeah, back in the day, for $2 you could get like a case of those things. Yeah, they weren't expensive at all. Testimony Tuesday to Congress. Powell noted that the job market has cooled considerably and it's not a source of broad inflationary pressures. That marked a notable shift from his past comments, which suggested that rapid wage growth could perpetuate inflation because some companies would likely raise their prices to offset their higher labor costs. And they have. Are you telling me they haven't raised their prices? I don't know. I don't eat fast food. Somebody else here could tell me how much it costs. I think Well, I think we do have Chick-fil-A every so often. But usually that's like on a Saturday when my wife picks it up. So I have no idea. Costs go up, jobs go down. Hey, now they become automated. June's jobs report showed that even as hiring remained healthy, the unemployment rate rose for a third straight month. More Americans have started to look for work, but some have encountered trouble finding jobs. Most of the economy's hiring in recent months has come from just three sectors: government, well, two sectors, government, government. That's it. There's only two sectors that they're talking about because healthcare is government now. It's okay. More hiring in the healthcare industry. And they're saying healthcare is a category that includes restaurants, hotels, and entertainment companies. That's not healthcare. Coca-Cola, General Mills, Bunsen, who's restaurants? No, I'm not lying. They're saying the economy's hiring in the recent months have come from just three sectors. They named two. They named government and they named healthcare. Oh, no, I see. I thought they were saying healthcare that is a category that includes restaurants, hotels. Oh, no, a category. That's what they're saying. And a category. So they're saying three sections. Sorry, my bad reading. My bad reading. Damn it. Woof. Ah. No, they're saying that government healthcare in a category that includes restaurants, hotels, and entertainment companies. Now there's something I read a while ago, and it's probably been 10, 15 years ago that I read this. You know, whenever your economy is going bad because the entertainment industry increases. Like the entertainment industry like really boosts up quite a bit because people they're trying to break away from the fear that is setting in, and they need to escape from that fear that is setting in. The truth is setting in. This same thing that happened in Rome. It was easier for people to go to a gladiator, an arena, and watch gladiators fight it out than it was for them to face reality that they were being overtaxed. They had no representation, that their cities were falling to pieces, until it became obvious that even that wasn't going to help. Service industry, yeah, that's not service. Bread and circus, exactly. And entertainment is failing. 25,000 people were immediately fired after the strike ended, and studios are shedding employees monthly since. Yeah. But you're talking about Hollywood. That's different. you're talking about Hollywood. No, places like restaurants, movie theaters, things of that sort will increase. Business in those will increase. More people will be spending money on YouTube, to watch movies or Netflix and crap like that. So whenever that happens, you know that people are just trying to avoid watching the news because the news is bad. And people just need that escape. Rosalind, what is up, girl? Oh, got some good stuff for you. We've got some good stuff for you. It is coming up shortly. It is coming up shortly. I'll have to tell you to check your Twitter here shortly. It is never a good thing. Never a good thing. Watching this is going to get, economy is not going to be doing well. And especially when they start putting you in pods. Yep. You heard it right. They're working on putting you in pods. Tiny homes built largely with philanthropic support offer more patch than solution to homelessness. You are the news. You are the news shizzy, I guess. 40 Hooters just closed 300 OSI restaurants, and there are more Yum brands in Chicago. Yep. Tiny homes built largely with this is crazy. In response to the nationwide crisis that has left more than 650,000 people without housing. How could we have a nationwide crisis? Everything's fine. Our economy's booming. Unemployment is decreasing. But 650,000 people without housing, 100 tiny home villages for the homeless have opened in the United States over the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. We call that urban camping, and they're usually intense. And most of those people don't want to live in a house because they can't take care of a house. That growth is from just 34 in 2019 to 123 today, represents a quadrupling living in pods. Sabato Philanthropies, run by billionaire Silicon developer and philanthropist John Sorbarato, and other groups such as James and Cox and Valhalla Foundations. I knew Valhalla was into it. Have been helping to fund tiny homes in San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, and other expensive California cities. You guys turned your cities into a shithole so you could open up pods? Next, they're going to be feeding these people bugs. As ambitious as these efforts may be, they only serve a fraction of the estimated homeless population. So it's 650 people, not in the United States, but in California. I would say that tiny homes are an absolute important part of the ecosystem. No. They're called apartments. In Chatham County, North Carolina, where the median sale price for a home is around $690,000. Only if you're in the city. The Tiny Homes Village at the farm at Penny Lane was a brainchild of local health and wellness nonprofit Cross Jesus. And I would imagine that if I look these people up, Cross Disability Services is probably a left-wing group. I don't even have to look it up to know that that's what it is. They ruined it for people, and then they come back in as, we are your saviors. We are your saviors. The 15-unit tiny home village don't care. West Coast efforts, but nowhere in the housing the homeless crisis severe as in California, where more than 181,000 people without permanent housing. Well, that is because Gavin Newsom has totally destroyed the economy, and they refuse to face the fact that, well, their economy sucks. They've driven away all of the homeowners. Their tax rates have increased drastically, and everybody's leaving. They're like done. Then they move to places like Houston, Miami, and then bitch and moan that, oh, it's not like it was in California. Let's make it more like it was in California. They move to places like Tennessee, where the tax rate is really low. They move to low tax rate places, and then they turn around and they raise taxes there. I mean, there's a thing called stupid. And then we've got this glorious stuff right here. Like I said, tiny homes, I'm blowing through some of this stuff because it's just a bunch of fluff and bullshit. University student who yelled "Free Palestine" reportedly deported at a graduation ceremony in New York University, Abu Dhabi this May. A student wearing a traditional Palestine black and white scarf shouted "Free Palestine" as he crossed the stage to receive his diploma, and he was deported from the UAE. The incident at the graduation comes as the UAE tries to balance its diplomatic recognition of Israel with ongoing war that's devastated Gaza Strip. While offering aid to the Palestinians, there have been none of the mass demonstrations that swept the Arab area here in the UAE, the Federation of Seven Emirates that tightly controls speech and where political parties are illegal. So you want to have a country like this. Responding to questions from the AP, Abu Dhabi said that the guaranteed academic authority on campus, but that in none of our locations are members of the NYU community immune from local law. NYU has no authority over any nation's immigration or law enforcement actions or decisions. It added that it advised students clearly and repeatedly about expectations, obligations, and boundaries, including protocols for the NYU Abu Dhabi graduation. The Emirati government didn't respond to requests for a comment. Yeah, this is one of those F around and find out. But anger was boiled among many Arabs living in the UAE, including Emiratis and other nationalities living there as the war has raged on. Well, there you go. You have such a migraine this morning. I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Well, I like this story so much better. Yeah, this is a really good story. Milk, eggs, and now bullets are for sale in a handful of grocery stores. Isn't that wonderful? That is such a glorious thing. American Rounds. It says tap, choose, verify ID to purchase. Montgomery, Alabama. A company has installed computerized vending machines to sell ammunition in grocery stores in Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas, allowing patrons to pick up their bullets along with a gallon of milk. American Rounds said their machines used an identification scanner and facial recognition software to verify the purchaser's age and are as quick and easy to use as a computer tablet. But advocates worry that selling bullets out of vending machines will lead to more shootings in the U.S. Explain this to me. How many times have bullets gone after people? I have never known a bullet to attack another person. It's amazing to me. Gun violence has killed at least 33 people. People have killed other people. Get this right. Fix the problem. It's not the tool. It's the person using the tool that's causing the problem. Get it together. American Round said their machines use identification, blah, blah, blah. Company maintains an age verification technology. It means that transactions are as secure or more secure than online sales, which may not require the purchaser to submit proof of age or at retail stores where there's a risk of shoplifting. I'm very thankful for those who are taking the time to get to know us and not just making assumptions about what we're about. We are very pro Second Amendment, but we are for responsible gun ownership, and we hope we're improving the environment for the community. Yeah, doesn't take away Second Amendment. Improper, horrible gun ownership does not take away Second Amendment rights. There have been 15, and here's where they've changed the wording again. It's 15 mass killings involving a firearm. Well, what about the ones that involve knives? What about the ones that have involved weapons you would consider them as weapons of mass destruction, like the ones that they're launching into Russia? Oh, compared to 39 and the 23. Maintained a partnership with the AP. Don't care about the AP. Innovations that make ammunition sales more secure via facial recognition, age verification, and the tracking of serial sales are promising safe measures that belong in gun stores, not the place where you buy milk for your kids. Well, Nick, you're an idiot. Every town for gun safety? Yeah. No, whenever they say every town for gun safety, they are saying every town for against Second Amendment. Do not be fooled by this. People are wanting to make sure that this isn't going to happen. Federal law requires a person to be 18 to buy a shotgun and rifle ammunition and 21 to buy a handgun ammunition. Weird, huh? At that point, you can complete your transaction of your product and you're off and going. The whole experience takes a minute and a half once you're familiar with the machine. The vending machine is another method of sale. Wonderful. Manager said that early interest in the machines has been in rural communities where there may be few retailers that sell ammunition. But then all they have to do is they have to come by, they have to restock the machine, sort of like a vending machine for, Coca-Cola or something like that. The American Rounds machines are Super C Mart and Value Fresh grocery stores in Swallow City, including Pell City, Alabama, which has a population over 13,600, and Noble, Oklahoma, whereas I've got no, you know what I've got to do? I've got to get MG to go to Noble, Oklahoma. Go to Noble, Oklahoma. Take a picture of it for me because that would be awesome. Picture with the big thumbs up. Two things companies try to maintain. Stability of corporate greed and inflation isn't real. The guy thinks every company in USA all got together to plot against Biden. Hello, Max Mara. Someone in that community might have to drive over an hour and a half to get supplied if they want to go hunting, for instance. Or grocery stores, they want to be able to offer their customers another category that they felt like would be popular. This is interesting. I am going to bring up the next story because I know that a lot of you are here for this. That's why you came by to get this in the morning. Let me bring this bad boy up right here. We'll just stop that screen, and this. Well, actually, what I want to do is I want to go grab some more coffee, boy, before I start on this. You know what time it is. You're about to see a little bit of a coffee break, and I will be back before we see Rambo. So if I am not back before we see Rambo, then somebody send out the dogs. We'll be right back.
Morning sun, it's a brand new day. Gotta shake the sleep, gotta find my way to the kitchen where the coffee's hot. Take a little break, give it all I got. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Gonna get my cup and start anew. Rise and brew, yeah, rise and brew. Take a little break is what I gotta do. Stepping out of bed, feel the reggae beat. Shuffle to the kitchen, moving my feet. Coffee's calling.
Told you I would be back before then. Nice, fresh, hot cup of coffee. All right, let's get this thing all fired up. Here we go. And tonight into reality. Here we go. We've got more. This is the affidavit of David S. Gregarious. Okay. So David S. Gangrenous, hereby I swear and affirm, and he says he's a U.S. citizen, resident of Arizona, 18 years of age, attorney. Affidavit is submitted to rules of family law procedures, as explained below. He has cause to believe, and on these grounds I do believe, on account of bias, prejudice, or other interests, the judge currently assigned to this matter, Honorable Julie A. Matta, is unable to act fairly and impartially. Oh boy, this is where it gets crazy. Find that Judge Matt is disqualified from all of further proceedings in the action. The case be immediately reassigned to a new judge pursuant the family rule of law, blah, blah, blah. This case began with petition. And so they're going to give you a case summary here of procedural background, which is absolute BS. Respondent Clayton Eckert in Scottsdale on around May 20th, and she learned that she was pregnant 11 days later. Now, what he doesn't tell you here is this is a claim. This is not a fact. If you want to go for the fact, she swallowed and choked one down. That was the fact. And she's claiming that she got pregnant from that. That was her claim. Good Lord, Shizzy, this is going to make me nauseous. Oh, God. Yeah. Before filing this establishment action, Laura claimed she tested positive for pregnancy on 5 separate occasions: May 31st, June 1st, June 19th, 25th, August 1st, and the first taken on May 31st. Now, she claims she tested positive. You notice it doesn't say that she tested positive on every single one of them. She didn't. And we've already shown that before. After Laura informed Clayton of these positive tests on June 19th, he invited her to his home to discuss the situation. And whenever she got there, he told her she's going to be on a stick. He also makes sure that this test was performed in front of him because he was sitting there going, there is no way you're pregnant from me because you choked on that. After 2 more positive tests, the parties were unable to reach an agreement on how to deal with the situation. Oh, it was worse than that. She was love bombing him like crazy. Hello is getting under your skin. I think I will get a shot of penicillin to be on the safe side. You read this the other day. It gets more ridiculous the more you get into it. Oh, I know. I've not read the whole thing. See, I don't have access to the stuff that you guys do because I don't do Discord. Laura claims that while the matter was pending, she had a blood test done on October 16th, 2023, which confirmed yet again she was pregnant. But the test results also suggested a pregnancy was not viable. It was likely to end in the miscarriage. And of course, we all know that all of her claims don't matter because she never proved that she was pregnant by Clayton. Does it matter if she was pregnant or not? Never proved that she was pregnant by Clayton. Never proved that she was pregnant throughout her entire pregnancy. Just peeing on a stick is not enough to prove her pregnancy. Those are the facts. And they couldn't provide any evidence. None whatsoever. As noted above, the case was initially filed. Neither party was represented by counsel. Both Clayton and Laura remained pro se. But whenever it was initially filed, Laura had an attorney draft all of that stuff for her, but wouldn't represent her. Now, Clayton retained counsel after she had counsel. Her counsel quit. Woodnick immediately began to filing pleadings, including a motion to amend Clayton's answer. Yes, we read this the other day. Without any attempt to meet and confer with Laura as required by family law, moved sanctions, blah, blah, blah. Shortly thereafter, we already read all this stuff. Summary of media, public attention does not matter. This has nothing to do with any of it. Summary of media, public attention means nothing. It does not matter how much media is there. It is a court of law. And he was the one that was throwing shit out there and creating the problem in the first place. Doesn't matter that Clayton was a famous reality TV show. I never heard of him. I could care less. Never heard of Laura Owens until I heard that some chick was claiming to be pregnant from choking down a couple of loads of man juice. Swallowed those things down, gulped them up, whatever you want to say. Took a shot to the face. She's to blame. Doesn't matter, whichever way you look at it. And I'm like, there's got to be more to this story. No, there's nothing more to the story. She claimed being pregnant after choking one out. That's it. or choking a couple out. Yeah, the baby bump looked real to you. Mm-hmm. This media attention is relevant and important to understanding the basis for this notice because it appears the trial judge, Judge Matta, allowed the significant media hype and public attention to overwhelm her better judgment. Not proven. Not proven. First of all, you would have to prove that she was biased in this. For anyone not familiar with the show, The Bachelor is a long-running TV dating reality. Don't care. Don't care. Over the course of don't care. Clayton appeared as a star. Don't care. This is irrelevant to the case. This leads to the second aspect of this case, which caused it to gain far more media and public attention than normal, as the previous star doesn't matter. These facts, Clayton's fame and huge popularity. No. Nobody heard about Clayton Echard outside of watching The Bachelor. If people were into The Bachelor, they knew. That the show was popular for what? A bunch of women, maybe a few gay guys. I don't know. I didn't watch it. I couldn't tell you one Bachelor on there. I know there was a TV show called The Bachelor, but I couldn't even tell you that I watched a single one of them. To me, it looked like Survivor, except more stupid. And I watched like the first Survivor, like the first show. I was like, oh. I thought they were being like dropped off on an island to like fend for themselves. And there was going to be like a battle going on, like to see who could get that last loaf of bread. No, it wasn't anything like that. I was like, oh, okay. So they've got film crews there and they're going, okay, here you go. You have to run this obstacle course. That's not surviving. Like, oh, we're going to vote you off. We're going to vote you off the island. I guess I don't ever know what happened with Survivor. You know, I was like, okay, this is the weakest thing I've ever seen and it's fluff and I don't care. Hello, Just Dawn. Good to see you. Oh, you never watched The Bachelor? Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I just found the story interesting. And Just Dawn, was Just Dawn in here? Holy cow. Just Dawn, you are. Oh my gosh. See, I have a hard time seeing redheads. It's weird. Swindled, defined as to cheat, defraud, practice fraud, otherwise known as Laura Owens. Fluffer. No, I said fluff. I say fluffer. If you're watching Fluffer, shame on you, Rosalind. These facts, Clayton's fame and huge popularity, The Bachelor, Laura faked being pregnant with Clayton, and that caused this otherwise simple case to gain massive amount of public scrutiny and attention from local, national, and international news media. No, it didn't. Initially, there was very little said or talked about this. The reason that it gained so much notoriety is because Clayton went to court after she went to the Sun. She is the one that brought this to the Sun as a threat to him because he would not date her. She is the one that made media attention out of this. In addition to being widely covered in the traditional news outlet, this case has also received attention from social media. Well, yes, because Laura brought attention to it. Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, among others. For instance, anonymous fans of Clayton have created social media pages focused entirely on this case, as they do with every case. Because your life is getting picked apart at that point that you go on to attack. If you're attacking somebody, your life is going to get picked apart. It's going to get picked apart. They're going to find every single thing they possibly can. They're going to find out. They're going to be looking to see if Gringus got sanctioned, whether they stole client funds. They're going to be looking at every single thing that they can possibly look at. They are going to go down the list. Oh, they're going to go after the attorney. They're going to go after the person that's vlogging. They're going to go after the person that's blogging. Anybody that's standing up for Owens, they're going to find out who that person is, if they're a real person or if they're just one of her fake accounts. Because that's the way the internet works. They're going to come for you. You started the fire, and now you can't put it out. That's what happens. She started it. Had she not done the crap that she did, she wouldn't be in this situation. And then, of course, there was the Justice for Clayton, or JFC. JFC Twitter account has posted obsessively about this case nearly 3,500 times. So, doesn't matter. They could post 100 times, 1,000,000 times. Nobody really is worried about it. Doesn't change the case whatsoever. It doesn't change the facts. Just because you're getting your shit called out doesn't change the facts. You like that, though. Wishing a happy, safe 4th of July to everyone but Laura Owens and David Gringus. Aww. In addition to posts on Twitter, when was this posted? July 4th, 2024? Okay, so this case was already settled before then. So what does it matter? What does it matter? The case has already been settled. July 4th, 2024, this case was settled in June. Okay. In addition to the posts on Twitter, anonymous fans of Clayton have created websites devoted solely to this case and promoting their belief that Clayton is somehow a victim who deserves justice. Yeah. Yeah. One such pro-Clayton fan site is justiceforclayton.com, which contains copies of all or substantially all pleadings filed in this case. Beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. This site also contains one-sided narratives which highlights only those facts favorable to Clayton's version of events. Really? If I'm not mistaken, they've got all of the little blog posts that your client has been putting out also. And they've debunked every single bit of it. They've proven her to be a liar. She's proven herself to be a liar. She's made changes to that, which they've also been able to point out. Rosalind sent me a nice link to it. It was pretty damn awesome. That points that stuff out. That pulls all of this information together and goes, this is bullshit. Because she said this here, and then she's changed her story here, and then she's changed her story here, and she's been caught. In addition to social media posts from his fans, Clayton himself has been extremely personally active in publicly promoting this case. Yeah, you have to. You have to get the media attention on it. If injustices are happening, get the media attention on it. Countless media interviews in which he tells his side of the story. That's all he has to do. Clayton's attorney, Mr. Woodnick, has also published statements regarding this case, as have you, Gringus. And you've been called out on your bullshit. Mr. Woodnick has also published statements in this case issued on March 7th, 2024, in which Woodnick accused Laura of fraud, yes, suggesting she has been accused of fabricating pregnancies and doctoring medical evidence as a means to extort relationships several times, dating back that they know of 10 years. Yeah? Is there anything, are you saying that that's not true? In attempt to respond to some of this a one-sided narrative, acting at Laura's request and with her written permission, I have occasionally posted comments about this case online. And been called out on it too. The purpose of these comments has been primarily, if not exclusively, to respond to information being circulated about this case by Clayton, his lawyers, and or his fan supporters. And you've been called out on your bullshit. It's important for reasons I will describe further below. YouTubers Dave, Neil, and Megan Fox. Oh, shame on them. Before discussing the specific issues and conduct giving rise to Laura's request to disqualify Judge Matt, it's important to understand that some of the other participants who will be mentioned further below. Two such participants are individuals named Dave Neal, Megan Fox. I do not personally know Dave Neal or Megan Fox, but during the course of this proceeding, I have become generally familiar with them. According to this YouTube channel, Dave Neal, comedian, there you go. Good promo. Getting a shout out for Dave Neal, there you go. Getting a shout out. Dave Neal is a stand-up comedian who lives in Tennessee. Awesome. He's just right up the road from me then. Dave also creates and publishes videos on YouTube nearly every day. Dave's videos often focus on The Bachelor and people like Clayton who have appeared on that show. Over the last several months, Dave Neal has obsessively published hundreds of thousands of hours of videos regarding this case. Again, often on a daily basis, because it pays the bills. Reflected on his YouTube channel below. These videos are generally almost universally devoted to vicious attacking of Laura and often me. Damn him. And to proclaiming that Clayton is a victim who deserves justice. Notably, Clayton has personally appeared on several of Dave Neal's videos, and it is clear Dave Neal is not covering this case as a neutral journalist, but rather a passionate, obsessive advocate for Clayton. Doesn't matter. I don't think Dave Neal considers himself to be a journalist. I mean, if he does, cool. But Dave Neal, if I'm not mistaken, he's going, no, I do this to make money. And this is an interesting freaking story. He's a YouTuber, but he also is a husband, a father. Okay. Another YouTuber found in this case, an individual that we'll say has the name of Megan Fox. We don't know if her name is Megan Fox, but it could be. Who I believe is a resident of New York State. I do not personally know Miss Fox. I believe that name to be a pseudonym. They made fun of me, therefore give my client money. Oh, no. But she has contacted me via email several times during this case, and I understand that she claims to be a journalist who publishes stories on extreme far right-wing news websites. Megan, you're racist. You're white ring. Okay. Megan Fox is a journalist. She writes for PJ Media. And if you want to call PJ Media extreme right wing, oh God, go ahead. I laugh at that. Like Dave Neal, Megan Fox also creates and publishes videos on her YouTube channel right here. Another shout out to Megan Fox. Oh yeah. Like Dave Neal, Megan Fox is a passionate supporter of justice for Clayton cause, and her videos are overwhelmingly devoted to exposing and destroying Laura. No, they are all about exposing. That's what I thought too, Roxanne. I thought Dave was just a commentator. That's how I always viewed him. And as far as YouTube goes, Megan Fox is first and foremost a journalist, and then she has her stuff that she does on YouTube and locals. It's no different than what anybody else is doing on YouTube and locals. Maybe Laura, if she was smart, might be able to get a man if she posted on YouTube, because I'm sure there'd be plenty of simps out there for her if she could just stop crying long enough to release content. Exposing and destroying Laura while promoting the narrative that Clayton is innocent, who deserves justice. Dave Neal, Megan Fox are mentioned because they are relevant to the issues raised herein. This is also because they attended the trial held in this matter on June 10th, 2024. And after the trial, both appeared on video claiming to have her speak with others who claim to have direct knowledge regarding certain improper conduct committed by Judge Matt during the trial. Stating the fact
Judge Matter allegedly engaged in improper ex parte discussions about the case with her father, Harry L. Howe, who has personally attended the trial and socialized with members of the Justice for Clayton group. Racist! Racist!
What Dave Neal has been doing is legal, unlike Laura Owens, who fraudulently uses other people's sonograms and dabbles in minor, any perjury. It's major. Perjury. Lie is a lie. Who cares if they're right wing? This soy boy acts like that's a condemnation. Left wing media has said Joe Biden is smart and strong for the last. Oh, no, they've been saying that for the past 10 years. Yeah, they tend to forget that Joe Biden was the one that thought the people living in jungles shouldn't be, turning their cities into jungles. Oh, yeah. I think Joe Biden was one of the few politicians and that's still around that dropped the hard R on the N word. Yeah. Yeah. No thought about that there. Summary of pretrial judicial basis.
Shortly after I became involved in the case in March of 2024, several events occurred that initially caused concern regarding Judge Mata's possible bias and lack of neutrality. Specifically, immediately after Laura retained me to represent her in this matter, I attempted to obtain a copy of her file from her previous counsel.
Well, that would be your previous counsel. That would be your issue.
Unfortunately, Laura's prior counsel did not promptly respond to this request. This made it impossible for me to respond to a motion to compel filed by Clayton before I was retained. The response to the motion to compel were due mere days after I was retained.
Well, that's your own damn fault. That's your own damn fault. that is a you thing, Gringus. Or what is it? Gringus? Green goats? Gringots?
Because I could not respond to the motion to compel without a complete copy of Laura's file, and because her Wizard Woodnick refused to agree to an extension of time, on April 1st, 2024, I filed a lengthy and well-supported motion, seeking the extension of time to respond to the motion to compel. That motion explained the request was primarily based on the fact that I did not have a complete copy of Laura's file because her previous counsel did not promptly provide the file to me.
I'm so tired of politicians. I think they're both too old to run for president. Yeah, I agree.
This canoe has TDS, so everything he doesn't agree with is far right wing.
NBC went after Biden in 2016 in favor of Hillary. That is true. Like I said, past 10 years. Oh, yeah. Oh. I don't even have any time for it.
The motion explained the request was primarily based on the fact that I did not have a complete copy of Laura's file.
Of course you did. All you had to do was pull up the file.
Despite the fact that good cause existed for my request for an extension.
No, it didn't, or the judge would have allowed it.
And despite Mr. Woodnick did not oppose the motion, just days later on April 3rd, Judge Mata issued a one-sentence minute entry order filed April 5th, 2024, denying my extension request without any explanation.
A judge does not owe you an explanation. It is the judge's prerogative. If you don't like it,
tough titty. As a lawyer who's practiced exclusively civil litigation for more than 20 years, it's extremely unusual, essentially unheard of in my experience, for a judge to deny an unopposed request for a short extension of time regarding a simple discovery matter, when good cause clearly exists for the request, when no prior extension requests have been made, and when the other party would not be prejudiced by the request. In fact, having litigated hundreds of matters in state and federal court over the course of my career, I cannot recall a single prior instance where the similar request was denied.
A lawyer wrote this. Yes, you could say that Green Goat is a lawyer. Oh.
Of course. I'm also well aware that as a matter of law, Adverse judicial rulings alone do not support the fine and partial blah, 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 blah.
Oh, wow. He's going to start pulling out case law that does not even do it. You're so jealous of my vocal range. I can't do that without making myself sick. Well,
Reason I'm determined that although Judge Matters' unexplained and apparently baseless denial of my extension request raised concerns about possible bias, the adverse ruling standing alone could not support a finding of bias. As such, I took no action at that time. Shortly thereafter, I discovered that the motion to compel Clayton's counsel, Mr. Woodnick, made multiple statements to the court which appeared to be knowingly false. After I confronted Mr. Woodnick on these concerns, he refused to speak to me by telephone. He wouldn't talk to me. Given the fact that I am newly retained and not familiar with this complicated history of this case, Mr. Woodnick's refusal to speak with me made it much more difficult to prepare this matter for trial.
Good morning, lady. What is up, brother? Cruising up the Rhine, getting ready for an afternoon nap. Ah, congratulations. I hope you have a safe trip and, give my love to your lovely wife. Good to see you. Oh my God. This. Oh, this is hilarious. He just is pissed off. Like, Clayton's count wouldn't make several statements to the court which appeared to be knowingly false. Appeared to be. No, they weren't. So what was it that he made that were so false? You're saying he made false statements without any proof of anything that's false. That's beautiful. Oh, let's see if we can do another voice. That one is torturous. I'm not doing that one. I'll stick with Cartman on this.
For that reason, on April 8, 2024, I filed a motion to compel lunch and alternative relief. For that motion, I informed the court that Mr. Woodnick was refusing to speak with me by phone, despite multiple rules of procedure and professional conduct which require counsel to meet to confer by phone. As a result, I asked the court to order Mr. Woodnick to speak to me, in addition to other alternative relief.
To support my request, my motion cited an earlier ruling from Honorable Gaines in this case that he's going to quote, in which Judge Penny Gaines granted a virtually identical request, noting the court has rarely seen a motion with more merit. The motion to compel lunch will be granted. Well, here's the thing. Don't waste my time. As an attorney, don't waste my time. I'm more than happy to have a discussion. I'm not an attorney. But I would think, as an attorney, I'm more than happy to discuss anything with you, but don't waste my time. Don't waste my time. It's the same. It's no different than whenever you get on this platform and you start streaming. You don't want to have your time wasted. Time is very precious. There's a reason why, after I finish this stream, I'll discuss with people in the back room for a period of time. But also time is money. If there's something that needs to be discussed, I'm going to do that in the back room. And usually it has nothing to do with anything except for trying to schedule shit or discussing an opinion that you can't say on the YouTubes because too many people get butthurt about it. Cartman in court, regardless of the case, would be gold. What is up, Yamaha brother? Good to see you. I have a story. Ah, my man. Oh, let's see. Unfortunately, as she did with my request of time to respond to motion compel, Judge Matta issued a single sentence minute entry denying your motion to compel because you were wasting time. That's it. You were wasting time. And then you were talking shit about him. Why would I want to have a discussion with you whenever you're creating a blog post talking shit about me? Why would I want to have anything to do with you? It's not going to be a productive conversation. Oh, man, people are so evil.
Later that same day, I learned for the first time that Clayton's counsel intended to use previously undisclosed evidence and witnesses at trial. Due to the untimely, extremely late disclosure within an hour of this discovery, I filed an emergency motion bringing the case issue to the court's attention, and I requested an immediate scheduling conference to discuss the issue further. Despite the fact, provides the court must order a scheduling conference when requested on May 22nd, 2024, Judge Mata issued a minor entry order denying my request for a scheduling conference, again, without any explanation or analysis.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Taken together, Judge Mata's single sentence, zero explanation denial. Talk to me, bitch. Of these three motions, the request, the motion, the request, the motion, the request, scheduling conference, tells me how serious concerns regarding Judge Mata's possible bias and lack of neutrality. However, I must persevere. I continue to believe that despite the existence of what appeared to be apparent bias and hostility, Judge Matters and various rulings alone would not support a finding of further bias sufficient to seek her disqualification because of the rule party challenging a trial's judge's impartiality must overcome the presumption that the trial judges are free of bias and prejudice. And the corollary standard that adverse rulings alone do not support a finding of bias and partiality without showing the extrajudicial source of bias or deep-seated favoritism. Well, fluff and circumstance. You were talking shit about the judge. You were talking shit about Clayton. You were talking shit about the opposing counsel. And the judge wasn't having any of it. That right there was enough. And you can go through your summary of judicial mistrial bias at trial. Prior to trial, I learned that Dave, Neil, Megan, Fax, and other JCFC supporters were planning to attend the trial in support of Clayton, which is their right. They have every ability to be there. And there's nothing you can do to stop them from being there. And I think that just really pissed you off. Because it was easy for Green Goat, Tickle Nuts, whatever his name is, to get in there. What is up, Tom Gillis? Good to see you, brother. It is easy for him to get in there and do this bullshit and talking crap like a little troll on Twitter to post unbelievable shit attacking people. And then whenever the people that you're attacking actually show up, you run like a scared little bitch. And that's all that was. You sitting there talking shit and not man enough to back it up and running like a scared little bitch. And then pull a bitch move by calling 911 with sheriff's deputies standing right there on somebody that was allowed to be there to be a witness. That's a bitch move. Let's try another voice here.
Prior to this trial, I learned that Dave Neal and Megan Fox, amongst the other JFC supporters, were planning to attend this trial. However, when I arrived at the court on the morning of the trial, I was surprised to see dozens, if not hundreds, of people waiting to watch the trial. Hundreds of people waiting. Before the trial began, Judge Mata spoke to counsel in her chambers and informed us that she had created an overflow room for at least 50 observers to watch the trial, and the seating in the courtroom itself was packed with spectators. Judge Mata informed counsel that she had taken certain security precautions due to the large crowd of spectators.
Oh my God.
I found Judge Mata's comments about the crowd surprising, because prior to the morning of the trial, there was nothing filed in this matter aside from a small number of media requests for filming. That would suggest that such a large crowd was likely to attend. Based on this, it appears Judge Mata gained some personal knowledge regarding the likely crowd size that was not obtained from nor shared with the parties or counsel.
Yeah. There was multiple media requests for people to film it. She did grant part of it, somewhat. That they were allowed to piggyback off of it. And also, more than likely, whenever she showed up that morning, she saw that people were camped out. A judge has to be aware of what's going on in their courtroom. They have to be aware of what's going on around them. And if they're seeing lots of people showing up, they're going to call in for extra support. But even though she did that, bitch move, little bitch boy, tinkle tits, green goat, whatever his name is, had to still call 911. Yeah, bitch boy. We just start calling him bitch boy, whatever the hell we feel like calling him.
I became aware Mr. Woodneck intended to call a witness named Mike Marianciani.
I don't know. Maricini? Maricini. Maybe that's right.
As an ex-boyfriend of Laura's. The pair dated for approximately 2 years while living in San Francisco in 2016 and 2017.
Yeah, that's pretty brief. During this relationship, Laura claimed that Maricini violently assaulted her, causing a traumatic brain injury that resulted in her developing epilepsy. Really? Is this true or is this a lie? Because that is a fact that was never brought into this case. So, Maricini, I pronounced it correctly. Okay. CJ is a little about the fact that I've been sleeping the next to the baby. Oh, so this right here is not a proven fact. All that he can say, all that he should have said, was that there was a restraining order against him, and he didn't have to disclose anything, because if this is a lie, him putting this in here, and this gets brought before a judge, and a judge says, I want you to prove to me that's what this was. You're saying that this, you're making this claim, you're stating this as a fact, and you have to prove this fact. If you can't prove this fact, then you have you've gone after somebody and you've done defamation, you dummy. You've also perjured yourself. If you cannot prove this right here, you just signed an affidavit saying that you did this. What a dumb ass. Based on this abuse, Laura sought and obtained domestic violence restraining order in San Francisco. Now that could be true. A copy, which is attached. That order, later renewed, remains valid and in effect as of today. On June 9th, 2024, Clayton posted a video on an Instagram page standing next to Mr. Maricini. He appears on the right as shown here in this video and elsewhere. Clayton suggests that Maricini intended to appear at the trial in this matter despite of the DRVO pressed against him. So where is this this filing? What's the exhibit that he sends to? Copy which is attached as Exhibit A. Okay, let's go down to Exhibit A. Where is Exhibit A? It's going to be in here. Okay. Exhibit A. Order renewed domestic violence restraining order improper. Okay. So where's the original one? This is just a renew. That doesn't mean shit. Granted for 5 years. Renewed restraining order must be attached to this form. This is a court doc. Where's the original restraining order? Order of protection. Cooperative restraining order clinic. Okay. Where is it? Okay. Male, 6'4", 220. Oh, she likes the tall guys, it looks like. Age 31. Where is it? July 10th, 2020. End on July 10th, 2020. And then, of course, she came back in on July 10th, 2025 is when it's supposed to expire again. Okay. So where's the case? There's a restraining order, but it says that in this restraining order that is proven that he that was because he caused epilepsy here. I'm looking. Where is it? Where is it in the restraining order? Order after hearing signature. Okay. If you do not obey this order, you'll be arrested. Oh, here we go. If you do not obey this order, you go to jail, prison, pay fine. It is a felony to hide a child in violation of this order. If you travel to another state or tribal lands or make protected orders, do so with intention of disobeying this order, you will be charged with a federal crime. You cannot have guns, firearm, or ammunition. So they took away his Second Amendment rights. Start date, end date of orders. Arrest is required if order is violated. Officer, okay, I'm just looking to see where it says that he can't be in a court. Order disobeyed this order. Officer must arrest restrained person. A violation of this order may be a violation of penal code. Law enforcement must first determine if the restrained person has notice of the orders. If it does cannot be verified, the restrained person must be advised of the term. Consider a restrained person to be served. The officer sees a copy of proof of service and confirms it, blah, blah, blah. Restrained person, restrained order, hearing or was informed if the protected person contacts the restrained person, which they didn't. Even if the person restrains or in effect for enforced, protected person cannot be arrested for inviting or consenting to contact with the restrained person. The orders can be changed only by another court order. There you go. That little sentence right there, orders can be changed only by another court order. Yes. That right there, court order, judge says, no, he stays. Doesn't matter. Enforcing, any law enforcement officer in California who receives this can enforce it. Conflicting orders. Priorities for enforcement. If more than one restraining order has been issued protecting the protected person from a restrained person, blah, 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 EPO. Emergency protective order, restrictive other, no contact order, okay, criminal order. If none of the orders includes a non-contact order, domestic violent protective order issued a criminal case, takes precedence in enforcement over any conflicting civil court order. Any non-conflicting terms of this, that doesn't follow into it either. None of that falls into it. Okay? So none of this falls into it. And he's never signed any of this. By signing, the parties acknowledge each has read and discussed the terms. Where's his signature? No signature. Oh, there's his signature. Got it. Michael Maricini looks like he did it by computer. Ms. Laura Owens restraining, blah, blah, blah. Signing, he acknowledged, so he acknowledges. Okay. That doesn't mean shit. Because nowhere in that order does it say he can't show up to court. Nowhere in that does it say he can't show up to court. So, tough kitty. He is allowed to show up to a trial, especially if he's going to be a witness. He is allowed to show up to trial. Tinkletits, Genghis Tinkletits has just ensured that LO gets further investigated criminally, and he may be in a boatload of a shite too. Yes, a very big possibility. She probably tried to have a closed courtroom and was told no. She tried to silence Clayton from disclosing, even though she was disclosing that people are in courtroom. She can silence everyone. Yeah. On the morning of June 10th, Laura informed me that she saw Mr. Maricini in the courthouse with Clayton and Mr. Woodnick. Based on this, Laura told me she was too terrified to participate in the trial, and she told me she intended to leave unless the DVRO was enforced. Having no other available option, I immediately contacted court security and asked them to enforce the California's court order by removing Maricini from the facility. No, you did not. No, you didn't. You did not immediately contact court security. You immediately dialed 911 despite there being police officers there. So he's saying that the security officers informed. Oh, okay. So he's saying he went to them first and they said, we don't have authority to enforce that order. And they suggest the only option was to call 911 and ask the Phoenix PD to enforce the order. Based on that suggestion, he called 911, explained the situation, and asked for officers to enforce the order. After a few minutes, Phoenix police responded. They reviewed the California's court order and explained to them that pursuant federal law, the Violence Against Women Act, they were required to enforce California's court order as written and provide the officers with a copy of the specific provisions of the VUAWA, which made interstate enforcement of the order mandatory. That required that order to be enforced in all 50 states. Well, here's the thing. If he's got an order and he has to go to a courtroom to have this order removed, that means they're going to be in contact. And you can't do that in a courthouse. The restraining protective order is all full faith credit requirements, violence against women, blah, blah, blah. Restrained person. This court is jurisdiction over the parties and subject matter. The restrained person has or will be afforded notice and a timely opportunity to be heard as provided by the laws of this jurisdiction. This order is valid and entitled to enforcement in each jurisdiction throughout the 50 states. It shall be enforced as if it were an order in that jurisdiction. Yeah, but the only problem is they are in a courtroom. You can't go after somebody if they're in a courtroom. And he does not make any contact with her. He did not want to have anything to do with her. So, Gringus, Tinkle Tits, not good, not good enough. He explained that by traveling from California to Arizona for the purpose of violating the order. Nope. Mr. Maricini committed a federal crime pursuant to this. Nope. And Laura desired his arrest and prosecution. Nope. And the Phoenix police indicated that they believed they had no choice but to defer to Judge Matta on this issue. And immediately she made it ordered that he was going to stay. Her court order overrode the court order of this. As a result, immediately prior to the start of the trial, I asked Judge Matta on record to enforce California's court order by removing Mr. Maricini from the courtroom. As she had done with substantially every other request, Judge Matta denied your request without any explanation, as she has that ability to do so. You'd like to ask Gringle Tits if Laura in fact swallows, because I have what? He had also failed to disclose that he was talking to Mike Maricini prior to the hearing, and Laura said she wanted to talk to him. He was going to do it until Gringas embarrassed him online. He wasn't going to do it. Oh, he was going to do it until Gringle Tits. Levy County, Florida won't enforce Ohio court order for what the hell is, even when not in the courtroom. Yeah.
At the conclusion of this trial, I informed Judge Matta on the record that I was leaving the country later that evening for a family vacation in Europe to celebrate my mother's 80th birthday. I left Arizona.
What? Doesn't matter. It does not matter. That is your choice. You remained in Europe until you returned on home June 28th. The majority of this time I was spent on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean with my family, and during that time my internet access was extremely limited. The ship's Wi-Fi connection was so slow that I was unable to view videos posted on any medium, including Twitter and YouTube, during the cruise. Why? Who cares? Who cares what they're posting? Does not matter. While I was on vacation, Laura contacted me, told me about some extremely disturbing information being shared on social media by Dave Neal and Megan Fox. Oh, jeez.
Specifically, Mr. Neal and Miss Fox appeared on several live stream and other videos in which they claimed Judge Matta's father, Harry Lowe, was present in the overflow room during the trial.
Okay. This does not matter. It does not matter if he was there. It doesn't matter. Laura Owen's parents could have been there. It would not have changed the facts of the case. It wouldn't have changed how the judge acted or reacted. It wouldn't have changed anything whatsoever. Just that somebody is there does not mean anything. Hell, for all you know, Johnny Depp could have showed up in person there and been hanging out dressed as a purple unicorn. It wouldn't have changed anything. Oh, I've read her Medium articles on her channel. You're waiting to see if you're the next Gringus rant. Yeah. No, nobody pays enough attention to me to be freaking worried about me. That's the beauty of it. The ship's Wi-Fi connection was so slow I was unable to view those bitch. So, Dave Neal and Megan Fox doesn't matter.
Larry L. Howe was present in the overflow room during the trial. They claimed that Mr. Howe spoke with several of Clayton's supporters during and after the trial, proclaiming, "I'm here for the shit show."
Doesn't matter. Does not matter. This does not matter. Everybody was there for the shit show. You were there for the shit show. Should that matter? How about improperly filing stuff? And judge denied your motions. Tough shit. This to me, all of this sounds to me like he is salty because he lost and he got called out on his BS multiple times. And yes, I boosted the audio on all of that crap for that whole courtroom. Come for me, bitch. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. A CD containing these videos is also lodged within. Oh, nice. Do you have some of those videos? Do you have the videos of mine? That'd be awesome. Want to see it? Want to see it? Oh, let's see. I want to see this link right here. Let's see. We're going to edit text request and sign yourself. No. Nope. I'm gonna have to pull this up. I gotta find this right here. Morning, beautiful people. That's not what you get when you support alone. Yes, it is. This is exactly what you get. What's up, Rider Chick? Morning, beautiful people. Oh my God. As usual, and this may be a mere fact, Judge Matt's father attended the trial, if true, if not the primary concern. If it's true that he attended the trial, it changes nothing. Mr. Howe stated Judge Matta discussed the facts of this case with him prior to trial. One specific statement was made by a person named Eva Debbie, who speaks between 000 and 40 in the above video compilation. In her remarks, Miss Debbie claims that she spoke with the Judge Matta's father at or immediately after the trial. Miss Debbie stated that Mr. Howe was carrying papers with him, which, based on her comments, may have been Laura's request for findings of fact and conclusions of law. Miss Debbie further claims Mr. Howe told her Judge Matta showed Father Laura's request for findings of fact and conclusions of law, and she, Judge Matta, told him, "Julie just told me, Dad, you have got this. You got to read this," and printed out a copy for him. Okay. What does that matter? This doesn't change the fact that Laura lied. This doesn't change the fact that Laura could not prove her case. This does not change the fact that Laura has a history of doing this stuff. None of that changes. All that it changes is you got salty because you lost. In the course of making these remarks, Miss Derby, and I don't know who Miss Derby is. Does she affect me whatsoever? This is grasping at straws, Gringle Tits.
Dad said you got to read this. Of course. Making these remarks, Miss Derby also statements which appear to imply Judge Matta told her father that she intended to rule in favor of Clayton before the case was even tried.
Yeah. You call Miss Derby in there. Go for it. Because more than likely, she's going to say, that's not what I said. Here's what exactly I said. This discussion at that point was brief and not entirely clear, but my belief is based on Miss Derby's claim that Mr. Howe whipped out papers, that Julie printed them for him. Then she mentions Laura's request for findings of fact and conclusions of law, finally asking, did anyone see those were denied prior to trial? What's also extremely disturbing is that someone in the video compilation, upon hearing remarks about Judge Matta and her father, Dave Neal, laughed a comment to paraphrase, hold on, we don't need a mistrial. That specific comment was from Mr. Neal, appeared between 40 and 1 minute in the above video compilation. I understood those remarks from Dave Neal as a signal to the person speaking that they should not disclose further information regarding comments they claim to have received from Judge Matta's father, because her believed they would expose judicial misconduct and bias on Judge Matta's part, requiring a new trial if those facts indeed were exposed. Right. Oh. You need his email address? It is. It is love. Love, sunshine, and pickles. So, assuming Judge Matta did in fact share information about this case with her father, that conduct would appear to be a per se violation. Share information? No. No. That changes nothing. Changes nothing. Like, my wife shares information with me because, well, one, I work for her. There's certain things she doesn't share with me, but doesn't matter. I still can view it because I work for her. Possibility the claims made regarding Judge Matta's father may be fabricated either in whole or in just part. High possibility, more than likely. Most likely it is fabricated and made up bullshit. Given how serious the issues were, I do not believe I could ethically make a formal accusation. You just did multiple times to verify the truth. A lawyer shall not make a statement that the lawyer knows to be false or with reckless disregard as to the truth. Yeah, you had to throw that in there because you're about to get your ass handed to you on this. In an effort to ascertain the truth while on vacation in the morning of June 17th, before I received the post-trial decision, I sent an email to Judge Matta's division in which I raised concern regarding Judge Matta's father and alleged statements made by Dave Neal and Megan Fox. At that time, I had not yet seen Miss Debbie's remarks. Don't care. In this email, so he wrote an email and attached in Exhibit B. Oh, let's look at it. Exhibit B. Let's see your email. Let's see your bitch fest right here. Exhibit B.
This is from David Gringletits, Monday, June 17, 2024 at 10:10 a.m. I'm also applying a great Woodnet, Isabel Rainey, Maribeth Burroughs, Indiana Arena. A response requested. The importance. It's high. Dear Judge Matta's Division, I am writing to raise potentially urgent issue that has come to my attention. In short, Ms. Owens informs me that various individuals have recently posted claims on social media, which, if true, may warrant a change of judge for cause pursuant to Family Law Rule 6.1. Now, before pursuing this further, I wanted to bring this to the court's attention and request a response from Judge Matta directly to verify whether the allegations are true.
In short, Miss Owens has informed me of the following. Judge Matta's father was personally represented in the trial held in this matter on Monday, June 10th. After the trial, several individual supporters from Mr. Eckert claimed to have discussed the case with Judge Matta's father. According to these individuals, Judge Matta's father claimed that the judge shared information with him about this case and made comments indicating Judge Matta intended to make adverse rulings against Miss Owens before the trial. Obviously, if these allegations are true, they raise extremely serious concerns. However, I am fully aware that similar claims have recently been posted on social media in other related cases, and those claims were later shown to be false. In this instance, Miss Owens has reason to believe the allegations regarding Judge Matta's father are true. She has obtained a video of at least one person making these claims, and that person claims to have directly communicated with Judge Matta's father about this matter. If this claim is true, Miss Owens believes this may warrant a change of judge for her case pursuant to Family Rule 6.1.
Oh, jeez. Before proceeding as usual this may be, I'm respectfully asking Judge Matta to respond directly and explain whether these allegations are true. As I mentioned in court last week, I'm currently in Europe on family vacation. We are currently on a cruise ship in the Norwegian Gateway anchored in Cannes, France. We are leaving this evening for Florence, Italy, and I will be on a ship until early next week when it docks in Athens. We will have extremely limited phone and internet while at the sea. While ship is at sea. Currently, as of Monday, June 17th, we are 9+ hours ahead of Arizona time, but that will increase as we move further east. Again, I fully understand the unusual nature of this message, and as noted above, I understand the allegations may be entirely false. However, given the serious nature of this issue, Miss Owens asked me to move forward with an immediate notice of change of judge for cause unless the court confirms above all these allegations are false. I hope this not to be necessary given the significant disruption this may cause, but I am ethically obligated. They don't have to respond. What? File your bullshit. Because the judge doesn't have to do it.
The evaporator.
I am ethically obligated to take all appropriate steps to protect Miss Owens' rights. Yet you'll take away other people's. For that reason, I respectfully request a response from the court to the issues raised above by 5 p.m. Arizona time. You shall command, I shall deliver. By June 18th, 2024, for purpose of clarity, the questions I am propounding are as follows. Was Judge Matta's father present? Doesn't matter. Did Judge Matta's father speak with Mr. Eckert or any of his supporters? Doesn't matter. Did Judge Matta share any information of any kind with her father regarding this case? Doesn't matter. It's public information that he could have obtained anywhere. That he got it from his daughter doesn't matter. Thank you for your prompt attention to this request. Gringletit's Law Office. It doesn't freaking matter, Gringletits. Does not matter. Matta promptly provided a response to the allegations regarding her father. I have further explained that if these allegations were true, I believe they must support a change of judge for cause. A few hours later, I received an email response from Judge Matta's division stating, to the extent that either party wishes to bring the matter to the court's attention, the court respectfully asks that you file the appropriate motion, dumbass. A true and correct copy of this email is attached hereto as Exhibit C because if she didn't, that would be ex parte communication. And if you want to file something, you have to file a motion. You don't just go accusing a judge or asking for their going after them. That's bad. File it properly. So what was filed? Well, let's see. What do they say? Good morning, dumbass. To the extent that either party wishes to bring the matter to the court's attention, the court respectfully asks you to do what you're supposed to freaking do and file the appropriate motion. That's the luck, Charles. And of course, he responds. Oh no, that was his email that he sent. Yeah, they responded to you saying to the extent of either, yeah, this is inappropriate, dummy. If you need to file something, this is inappropriate. File it correctly. And more than likely, Judge Matas told him the same damn thing. It was like, yeah, you've got to file this correctly. Yep, squeeze. Oh, jeez. Making my brain hurt here. Let's see, what page am I on here? It is page 37, 35, 34. Okay. Oh, 32, 33, 32. Jesus. Oh my God. About 14 hours later on the morning of June 18th, I received the court's post-trial rulings on merits, a copy of which is attached to D. Jesus Christ, again. Let's look at D. Okay, let's go to D. D as in dipshit. Exhibit D. Oh, okay. So this is the ruling, of course. We know this. And basically the judge went through all of this here and said finding of facts and all this other kind of crap. Petitioner is saying that she had a history of epilepsy, testified she'd been pregnant 4 times. Each time the alleged father believed she fabricated the pregnancy. May 24th, 2023, respondent, petitioner, defendant, pregnancy, bullshit, more bullshit. Yeah, we've already read all that. Gringus, you don't need to attach all that bullshit in there. You could have just referred to it. You didn't have to attach the whole order. That was stupid. To prove that point is Exhibit E, a true and complete copy of the court reporter's official transcript as the index reflects the entirety of Dr. Dean's testimony, covers a total of 6 pages. Okay. Doesn't matter. As the transcript clearly shows, at no time during her brief testimony did Dr. Dietz or anyone else ever address the question of whether Planned Parenthood was or was not open on Sundays. That question was never asked, nor was ever answered, and if Dr. Dietz did not testify that Planned Parenthood is not open on Sundays, where did Judge Mattis' findings on that issue come from? Well, the answer is, once again, absolutely shocking. Judge Mattis copied that finding from posts on social media. No, you just again accused the judge of doing something improper. Because if I'm looking at all of this right here, if I go down through it, communications, motion compel, parties period before, December 2nd, Raven was given, petitioner has a podcast, real estate investing company, buys and sells horses. Let's see, between 8th and 9th on the evening, has a home, petitioner arrived, given high, cannabis. During late evening, petitioner testified she did not want to have intercourse, but the respondent stuck it in briefly. Petitioner, just keep saying that over here. You go. At the trial, petitioner testified that parties had intercourse and that it was grape, which was news to her, news to everybody, because that's not what was ever brought forward. That right there would get her for perjury. Again, petitioner believes she became pregnant from graping. Petitioner asked respondent as her realtor to prepare these purchase offers. Later responded if she had heard anything from seller, blah, blah, blah. Pregnancy test, denies, testifies that she experienced bleeding past two kidney stones. Telenet provider. Okay, here we go. Testified she texted. Telehealth provider told petitioner she was hard if she miscarried and should monitor the situation and seek further care as needed, which would be go to the freaking emergency room, dummy. She never did the HCG blood test, never did the ultrasound, never did a sonogram. Instead of seeking personal care, chose to take another home test. Took a home test instead of seeking care. Testified that she made multiple appointments. Court was not provided with evidence of positive test, but maintains that the nature of her high-risk pregnancy would warrant a visit to the emergency room, who would be equipped to care for a high-risk pregnancy, wherein mother was COVID positive. On the 4th, parties agreed DNA test through Ravgen. Agreed to pay. During litigation, petitioner maintained consistently. I'm just going down through this order. Admitted to changing the test result. That right there is also a felony. In late September or early October, both parties submitted to samples for DNA testing. On 16th, Revenor's petition blood was drawn. The results were HCG levels of 102. And she changed the results to reflect of 1,002, 100,002. Petitioner testified that she was aware that alleged pregnancies were not viable upon denial of her request. However, she did not file a motion to dismiss or make other arrangements to advise respondent of the development. Another screw up. Not that it's going to be held against her, except in the court of law. Petitioner allegedly was not treated by Higley or any other person or obstetrician or gynecologist. They didn't seek in-person care for high-risk pregnancy. They find that going to Banner for a pregnancy test, but not the passage of fetal tissue they find it to be unreasonable and uncredible. She sought OBGYN services from a facility mom doctor to determine whether she was allegedly still pregnant. Petitioner testified she currently weighs 91 pounds, but weighed 133 in November. She experienced significant swelling in her abdomen and felt pregnant, or she had to poop really bad. The court was present with videos. Petitioner denies tampering with HCG tests, but does admit to altering and fabricating ultrasounds and sonograms. Okay. She began to exhibit anxiety. At this time, pushes back against a chair. Advised the court she did not believe she was being treated fairly, and the court attempted to redirect petitioner to no avail. Yeah, she got snippy with the judge. Court finds interaction between counsel and petitioner diminishes the credibility and the veracity of petitioner's response during cross-examination. The court finds it impossible to determine the date of any alleged miscarriages, not because it is impossible, but rather because she failed to seek even minimal care or level of care for high-risk condition. Failure to demonstrate confirmation of ongoing pregnancy is a purposeful way to ensure respondent would not be able to determine if she was pregnant, and if so, for how long the pregnancy lasted. Now she's talking about Dr. Medchill, testified 200 pages of medical records. Medchill, testified. Samantha Deans reviewed records provided. Associate Medical Director, she testified Planned Parenthood does not accept anonymous statements. They do not accept patients using alias, blah, 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 blah. Dr. Deans did not confirm pregnancy. Dr. Deans, telehealth instructions, petitioner. The instructions were not followed, but petitioner called the abortion and miscarriage hotline, which also recommended blah, blah, blah. After reviewing the records, already went through all this stuff, testified, and prior history of cancer could also produce HCG. Petitioner has prior history of ovarian cancer. Familial HC, horse tranquilizers can create this, but where is it that they're talking about that the judge said this? Oh, okay. Testified that Planned Parenthood is not open on Sundays. She testified that Planned Parenthood does not accept anonymous patients. They say there's a period here. It says they do not accept patients using an alias. Patients are required to provide a governmental issued form of identification, and the Planned Parenthood is not open on Sundays. When petitioner testified, she sought care on July 2nd, 2023. So this right here is what he's talking about. Laura never had pregnancy boobs. Laura never had pregnancy. That's the bad part about it. She never had the pregnancy. That's what's so screwed up in all of this. So let's go with the testimony that he's bringing up there, because I was positive that I heard that question being asked. Let's see. We're at 39, and I think testimony was here. That's 63. So, let's see, go up to this particular one here, and this one here, and this one here. Oh, that's going to be another exhibit. We'll just go on to that exhibit later, but we'll stop here. Direct examination by Woodnick, voir dire examination by Mr. Gringas, direct examination continued by Woodnick, cross examination by Mr. Gringas. Okay. Doesn't matter. As the transcript clearly shows, Judge Maddox copied that, and if this is all he's got, then that's a weak one. As noted above, during the course of my involvement in this matter, I have published a small number of comments, approximately 15 posts. A small number? 15 posts? You know how many posts I have on that's more than I probably have altogether on the Twitter. Oh my God. As noted above, JSC Twitter account has posted nearly 3,500 tweets. Okay. And I bet you read every damn one of them. As limited on my online involvement in this case has been, I believe Judge Maddox conducted her own independent research into the facts on the case. Doesn't matter. First, throughout this case, don't care. Instead, I believe she was suggesting and hinting that Judge Maddox that she could go online and perform an ex parte review of my site, and I believe that's exactly what she did. Huh. I believe that by pointing my comments on my website, Mr. Woodnick was not actually concerned about the content of those posts. He also posted public comments online about this case, suggesting Mr. Woodnick fully understood that I had a right to inform the public of Laura's side of the story. Okay. Complained Judge Matt about the fact it was making public statements. I'm just curious. I wrote and posted on Gringas Law about this case. I found Mr. Woodnick's complaints in this regard confusing because the information comments I posted about this case were not improper in any way. And because you lied. You attacked him. You attacked Woodnick. You attacked the judge. This is all you do. Oh, jeez. What a little bitch. The evidence supports to conclusion that the finding of Planned Parenthood is not open on Sundays did not come from the trial testimony of Dr. Deans, nor did it come from any other witness. Indeed, the word Sunday does not appear anywhere in the transcript. That much is beyond dispute. Second, the evidence should actually, it may have been brought up that it wasn't open on June 2nd. It would have been impossible for it to be open on a Sunday. That may have been brought up. That may have been brought up in closing arguments. I'll have to look. The grounds exist to disqualify Judge Matt in this matter on the basis of bias and the prejudice. Of course, I think I need to go back and look at what, because usually attorneys have to file their brief with the judge. I think more than likely he filed a brief with this, and that might have had that wording in there. And then she just may have adopted that wording. What you were referring to was the Zoom video in court in October where she was wearing the pregnancy belly. Boobs didn't match the belly. Nothing matched her. Yeah, she was horrible. Yeah. The legal arguments supporting these conclusions are set forth in a memorandum of filed law currently pursuant to family law, which Owens is concurrently requesting. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of American State of Arizona the foregoing is true and correct. Yeah, you're going to get in trouble for this. Just saying, more than likely, you're going to get in trouble for your shenanigans, gringle tits. Gringle tits, gringle tits, gringle tits, gringle tits. Okay, so here we have the appearances and index, redirect, blah, blah, Miss Owens, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And quickly as it can, blah, 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 blah. 2 days served. Second, I'll read. This witness expects to testify prior. California name. I spoke to Ms. Pollock. She expressed extreme surprise. Okay, we'll go through it. Let's see. There was an issue of fake medical records with Mr. Maricini and my client in California some 8 years ago. That's why I literally within an hour received the information filed. Emergency motion for a court hearing in the court. Unfortunately, here we are, Your Honor, and blah, blah, blah. Court, thank you. Mr. Woodnick, I can do it in about 30 seconds. Judge number one, you already ruled on this. Number two, there's a lack of transparency in the comments because number one, you already saw Mr. Maricini's correspondence to Mr. Gringas as why he did not want to talk to him. And he is available, and certainly Mr. Gringas could have walked out in the hallway and talked to him, but instead he called 911. Yeah, this is all the court transcripts. So glorious. I'm not seeing what I'm looking for in here. Does make an opening statement, Mr. Woodnick? Generally, no, but today we have to. Multiple proceedings, attorney's fees, sanctions can be ordered in this matter. Okay. Your Honor, I'll call Laura Owens. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Because Laura came up there and said that she did this on the 2nd. Here that they have just tried to retry Laura Owens' entire case on YouTube channels. Yes. That's all that it looks like. And of course, where is it? November 2nd hearing. Yeah, all of this stuff is ridiculous. Let's see. File affidavit. Okay, with the court. All right. You're going to move to exhibit, blah, blah, blah. Objection. Blah, 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 blah. What is it? 102, 31 minutes, Michael Medchill. Let's see. He says he's delivered over 20,000 babies. Oh, let's see. Let's look up June. I think it's in here. Control, find text, June. June 2nd. June 2nd. June 28th is an email dated between you and Laura. Uh-huh. And what is it? That's June 28th. Having a baby, move to object, blah, blah, blah. Ultrasound. October 11th says ultrasound video proof is correct. All right, let's look to the next one. June 2, June 28th. Advising you. Okay. 28th. Pre-planned vacation on June 28th. June 28th. Offices, June 28th. June 28th. All right, looking at the screen in front of you is an email Mr. Eckert sent to you on June 21st. Okay. June 21st, what happened in the new terms? Additional tests, sonogram in California. Yes, I did. And where was that done? Planned Parenthood. And you understand, I'm sure Mr. Woodnick will ask you about this. Has not been able to verify that you have ever been there because she went under a fake name. Okay, you had a sonogram done. Did you ever present that sonogram as evidence in any court proceeding anywhere? No. We have obviously presented it in this case, but you admitted already that you changed the name on top, blah, blah, blah. Do you remember approximately what date that was? And I know you signed a declaration. I think you said July 2nd, and then there may be a conflict. Do you remember what date that you went? That was actually the end of June. Okay, you went both weekends, or is that what the confusion was? All right, after the sonogram in California around the 23rd, did something happen in terms of passing gas? Okay. I'm not sure you're going to pull that up, or if I was looking for something, I'll wait till, okay, could potentially miscarriage, blah, blah, blah. What they tell you, objection, hearsay. 23rd, did you take any other tests? Okay. Well, it would seem to me they still lost. Yeah. And they'll continue to lose. It would seem to me, okay, I could be wrong on this because I'm not an attorney, that whenever she came in here and perjured herself, she came in here right up here whenever she says that she went to a different place in Los Angeles. She perjured herself because every bit of discovery that they did had to do with where they were. That they did discovery in Orange County because she changed the location. They did discovery in Mission Viejo because they did discovery, which means she lied and then lied and then lied again. And I think maybe, hopefully the judge didn't do it. But me personally, I probably would have been like, she's perjured herself and she's making these claims that can't be confirmed, changing her story. Maybe the judge did okay, because if she's perjuring herself, I have to be able to show that she's perjuring herself. And what better way to prove that she's perjuring herself? Because this thing being brought at the 11th hour during a court case, I don't think that's proper. Her changing her story right there in front of the judge and telling yet another lie without confirmation. I don't know. If I was a judge, I would be looking. I'd be going, okay, this isn't making a whole lot of sense. Crazy. Oh my God, that's oh, just Jesus, Louise. I'm sorry, so I just read the text someone sent me. You guys are awesome. I love it. Oh God, it's a story, Marine. It's a story. Oh my God, someone parted on the side of your truck. Well, at least they're outside of your truck and not on the inside. Oh man. Oh. No, he won't. No. Here's the thing. You know what will get you disbarred really quick and also make it really hard for you to practice law, at least appropriately? The biggest thing that you can do, the most egregious that you can do as an attorney, is not what he did here. You want to know what the most egregious you can do as an attorney? The worst possible thing that you can do that will usually get you disbarred. If it doesn't, it puts into question every bit of your ethics as an attorney. You want to know what that is? Stealing a client's money. Messing with money in a trust account. That right there will get you in all kinds of trouble. That right there can get you disbarred in a damn heartbeat. The number one reason why clients here in the state of Georgia, that lawyers in the state of Georgia get removed or disbarred, is for fiddling around with a client's money. And it could be $1. It doesn't matter. That money is not yours. You're not allowed to touch that money ever. Lizard attack. Well, that too. Yeah. No, mess around with a client's money. It is the most dishonest thing you can possibly do. It will get you in tons of trouble. How do I know this? My wife told me. She was just like, yeah, that right there is going to get you disbarred. You can be an absolute horrible person. You can be arrested for DUI and it's not going to get you disbarred. But you mess around with a client's money, that is no. That is a big no-no. Elder care abuse. I mean, elder care abuse, probably not. Probably not. It might get you arrested, but it's not going to get you disbarred. What will get you disbarred is stealing somebody's money. Now, there's times that it may just make it sanctioned. You may get sanctioned where you're not disbarred, where you have to basically, spend a little bit of time not being able to practice law. That happens. But yeah, messing with clients' money is bad stuff. I mean, and that's something that if you're hiring an attorney, all you have to do is look at their bar record. Look at their bar record and see if they have any of those things going against them. If they have that, yeah, you may not want to be trusting them with your monies because you've taken away all bit of trust. All bit of trust. If they couldn't be honest with the money, what else are they not being honest with? What other shady stuff are they pulling? Now, I don't know about other states. Other states may be different. They may have a higher standard for that. I just know that in the state of Georgia, you'll be disbarred for that. It doesn't matter if it's $1. Mismanagement of client funds, done. And if you don't understand what a trust is, it's pretty simple. If a client pays you to do a job, it's put in trust, and that money sits in trust. And the only time you're able to take is if you're billing out of it, and you have to provide receipts for it. Or if the client gets paid money from, say, example, a lawsuit, they get paid money from a lawsuit. If you take even $1 out of that to try to pay yourself, yeah, trouble. And those are ethics. Those are ethics complaints. Yeah, look at your attorney's ethics complaints and see if they have any of those. If they have ethics complaints, there might be something going on there. And I know of quite a few attorneys here in the state of Georgia that have massive amounts of ethics complaints against them that are still practicing attorneys. But I don't know of any in the state of Georgia for stealing money that are still there. So if you're wondering what kind of things that, that would get him disbarred for this, probably not. It would get him sanctioned. Could get him sanctioned. As far as getting disbarred, probably not. But it's not going to make him make it any easier next time he has to go in front of this judge. And a lot of times the judge will just recuse themselves. And that may be why he's doing it. Because he may have another case that he knows is going to be in front of her. And if he can get her to recuse herself because of this ongoing investigation, it gives him a better chance to win. That is what I meant. Old people who can't handle their money. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, we got a president that can't handle his money. yeah, we entrust him with billions of dollars to send to Ukraine. Suckers. That's elder care abuse. Oh man. It is going to be a beautiful day today. I am going to end this bad boy. That was Gringletets's complaint that he filed with the judge or with the judicial committee. That I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But yeah, he's going to basically go on the attack of this judge, more than likely bring up ethics complaints about the judge. And her superiors are going to look it over and go, do you have any proof of this? I mean, give me some proof. Give me proof. And I could have sworn during that testimony that the judge asked her a question or asked another person a question about it being open on Sunday. But because it was a long day and I recorded it and didn't watch it live, don't remember that was the case. I want to say somewhere in there the question was brought up, but I'd have to listen to that whole damn thing again. And I'm not reading through the transcript. No. Not whenever I've got the live stuff. I'll just play the damn thing again live at some point in time. Just not today. You guys are awesome. As always, it is time for me to head off, get off to work. I wasn't sure how long that was. 211 pages and most of it is transcript. I don't feel any need to read through the transcript. At some point in time, I could do it with another person, have a little bit of fun with it. But, it's much easier to rewatch the whole damn thing. You guys, in the meantime, go over and say hello to Mo. Give her a thumbs up. Show her you love her. And hit the thumbs up on the way out, or the thumbs down, whichever one suits your fancy. Just hit something. Just don't hit Laura. Nobody else will hit it. So bad. You guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys tonight. Peace, y'all.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.